This room is too busy. Hey guys, my name is Brandon, aka the Brando Critic, and today I want to take you guys on a journey with me to declutter and reorganize my movie room slash office slash Brando Critic studio. Now, if you guys have seen my videos before, you'll notice that there's a lot of stuff behind me, and it's by design because it's the backdrop for all my videos. And when Brandon walks into this room, not the Brando Critic, he feels overwhelmed. I come into this room and it feels very busy. Now, I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older and I'm redecorating the rest of my apartment to be a bit more minimal, but I come into this room and I want it to have a more functional, cleaner, minimal look. So here's what this video is going to entail. First of all, I'm going to show you guys how the room looks right now, give you guys a little bit of a tour, highlight some of the problematic areas that I'm looking at and going, you know what, that needs some work. 3, highlighting the goals I have for redecorating this room and the criteria I have for what stays and what goes. And of course, number 4, the final product. So thank you guys in advance for being on this journey with me. Let's get started. Okay guys, welcome to my office slash movie studio. And yes, as you guys can see, it is very, very busy in here. And there's my cat Roger, and there's my view from my window. And I just wanted to show you guys basically what I'm working with here. But I wanted to start over here to show you guys what I'm working with. So this is my actual computer setup, and all this is actually pretty good. You can see there's the camera, there's the light. Everything here is pretty good. Now, the reason why I want to show down here is that there's actually nothing down here. And I'm thinking about using that when we move some of these things around. So we'll get to that pretty soon. So all this stuff is looking pretty good. I like how I have all 3 Indiana Jones. I am able to change out the posters, my degree, and my Disney stock. So all of this is looking pretty clean here, right? The problem is when we get over here, we have an extra office chair, all the Disney VHS tapes. I mean, they're really cool and everything, but I think we got to put those in storage. The first high problem area right here is this retro gaming station. Now, I do like the posters here, Mission Impossible and Jurassic Park. That Jurassic Park poster has never moved since moving in. This, I think, has to go. I still have Christmas lights behind there. The thing is, I did use this a couple times here and there, but not enough for it to justify a whole corner in this room. And I'm thinking we can put the cat tree there. And this is where I'm running out of space. So we're thinking about putting the cat tree there, putting some of these consoles down here and hooking them up so I can still play them. And then the rest just goes into storage. Now this is where we get into the real busyness of it all. And this is all made by design because I wanted this to be the background of my videos. So recently, about 2 years ago, I decided to buy a bunch of old VHS tapes again because I had a couple in my collection and I wanted to have this big VHS display. It's too busy. And I think a lot of those are gonna go into storage. And as you can see up here, there's lots of Star Wars figurines, memorabilia just for show, right? There's too much of it. There's some Funko Pops here, the sign that my girlfriend got me for Christmas, and I actually have them leaned up against some boxes back here. Don't want to move that. And then of course there's little Grogu, Baby Yoda. The movie collection, these are all Blu-rays and 4Ks. I decided to put them all together. There's a lot of them. And recently they actually went all the way down here as well, but I ended up trading a bunch of those in. Declutter these VHS tapes. Keep a couple figures here and there. A lot of these can go into storage. It's just too busy. So I want this to be really functional. I want this to be basically just a place to get movies. Kind of keep it like a Blockbuster. Keep some VHS tapes maybe on the side, a little, you know, keep it fun, but again, it's too busy. We have a small shelf, and of course we have a Top Gun Maverick popcorn bucket here. So we got Switch games, PS5, PS4, PS3, a lot of stuff. You know, some nice displays of some of my favorite Pokemon cards, a Pokemon display, some of the older games here, some Pokemon cards, some consoles, some Wii games, GameCube, PS2, books, older video games right here, like N64, Super Nintendo, like a James Bond that's a piece of film from Die Another Day, my first James Bond movie, a Scout Trooper. This is the movie that I actually made in film school, Roses for Jennifer. A lot of film posters, a lightsaber, books, more books, and board games, and it's too much. Again, as soon as you walk in, you have 2 big posters, which don't align with these 3. I just have more space on the wall so I could put those there. I'm thinking I only use one of them or I use something else. Again, with more storage, I can get rid of this thing. It just blocks the way. And this is the culprit of this room not having enough space, because I can't put this in the rest of my house. My girlfriend will not allow it. Yeah, it's pretty intense. So make some room over there. And then I have a Star Wars thing up there, right? There's just too much going on. So I think the high danger areas is this gaming station, kind of morph it into the actual computer setup. Put some consoles down there, a couple of them, put the rest in storage. Take down a lot of these memorabilia pieces, the VHS tapes. I don't want to get rid of everything, right? I don't want to sell everything. Like, I still like this stuff, but again, it's getting too much. The closet, definitely want to declutter the closet and actually keep the storage area, you know, for storage that I can actually access more regularly. And then the doorway, because again, it's not much for people to get through. So again, maybe clean this up, move some of these into the closet or onto the shelves, clean this up and move the cat tree over here. So that's what I plan to do. Roger, what do you think? Should we simplify this room? I'll take that as a yes. What? Now, before I start moving things around and taking things out of this room, I want to tell you guys my goals and my criteria for what stays and what goes. So my overall goal, like I said in the beginning of the video, is to create a cleaner look. It's way too busy back there. It's not practical. There's a lot of things back there that I don't actually use on a regular basis, and there's a lot of display pieces, and I feel like it's just too crowded, too busy. I want something a bit more functional, a bit cleaner. I want to feel like I can breathe in this room. So those are my goals. The criteria I have for what stays and what goes are the following. Number one, it has to spark a huge amount of joy. That's stealing directly from Marie Kondo. If you guys don't know who that is, she's this professional tidier. She's wonderful. Check her out on Netflix. So while a display piece like that stormtrooper back there might not be the most functional, but I'm allowed to keep some stuff. I do want it to look cool. This is my movie room after all, but not so much. Number two, if it is a practical item, like I have to use it or it's meant to be used, and I haven't used it since moving into this apartment 3 years ago, that is an issue. Or I barely use it. So it either goes into storage or I donate it. But that is the criteria going forward. Now, oh boy, let's get started. So right away, I started with the office chair and the Disney VHS tapes because those could easily go into storage, and I realized right away that I had a problem. Okay, so I think I already have a problem here. I just started. I got rid of all the Disney VHS tapes, and it takes up one entire bin, and I only bought 3. I have no idea how I'm gonna fit all this stuff. I think I gotta go back to the store and buy more bins. My storage is not gonna like me after this, but you know what? And I can't get rid of them either. You know what I mean? Like, the Disney VHS tapes are my childhood. And again, like, I feel like I'm gonna be using that phrase for a lot of this room, but there they are. And I'm gonna put more VHS tapes away as well. But let's start off with this guy. So in case you guys are wondering, the PS2 was my first official new console and the Super Nintendo was a hand-me-down, but it was always nice to play those in the corner of a room like my childhood. Some progress on the retro gaming station. The TV is gone. It's just off to the side here. We have the consoles on the floor. We're gonna put the Laserdisc and the VCR away only because I just don't use them that much. And then I'll see about connecting some of the game consoles to the computer setup right over there. Right now, I have to untangle and organize all of those cords, and then all the controllers too. We gotta find a good way to store them. Maybe up in the closet over there. Yeah, this is gonna be a project, but I think we're gonna do this one tonight and then we'll pick it up again tomorrow. So this is where my experience working in a film studio and going on different film sets has really helped me in this process, because you have to untangle and tie up so many cables, and it's a skill, and it helped out today. Roger's already enjoying the extra space. Okay, so quick little update. We have the Laserdisc player here, which is going to be going into storage. This is one of those blue bins that was currently up there in the closet. The one thing though I wanted to show you, so I cleaned this up a little bit and threw some adapters and everything that connects to the PS2, because I think that's my favorite retro console. It looks pretty good, and we'll be putting that up there, and the cat tree will move over here. So that's the first part, and then we'll move on to this behemoth of a project, so stay tuned. He's getting used to it already. He's like, what is going on? What is this new spot? I gotta vacuum it, obviously. Roger, what do you think? The new spot? Maybe people can see you in the back of videos. Okay, now we're gonna start with all of these shelves. So the movie collection is staying intact, and eventually I will move all of like the box sets and like the franchises into this. I don't know how yet, but what I'm thinking is we're gonna start with the memorabilia, take down every single piece of, you know, Star Wars toys, Lego, Harry Potter stuff, Funko Pops, put them on the ground. We'll see how it goes. So let's get started. So one thing I'll say about like Lego pieces, and especially Star Wars Lego, and I was talking about this with a friend, is like it's so cool to build it. And then as soon as you build it, it's cool to have, but then once you have it, you're kind of done with it. I wish that Lego had like this program where you can kind of like exchange and keep getting new pieces. That would be awesome. And then there'd always be cool things in the background. Now that there's nothing up top here, I kind of like it. Now we have a bunch of VHS tapes here, and I was thinking about maybe putting that behind the Brando Critic thing, but I do like having this clear. It just looks like a nice cleaner look because it's flush with these posters, and then maybe have a couple like these ones were on display here. Maybe just like a few off to the side to go, this is my VHS collection, and then we'll redesign it, but I think that's the play. And then I'll choose a couple of these guys to put up there. Let's just see how it looks when I put some VHS tapes back here and put the Brando Critic sign a bit more forward. So my thinking here was like, okay, I'm gonna have a couple of my favorite VHS tapes, and I wanted to show you guys Batman. That's just an awesome cover, but I wanted to have like my favorites, you know, movies in a franchise. That's why I have like the box sets there, and you'll see pretty soon that those don't actually work. But, you know, I wanted it to make it look nice, you know, and then I moved some things around, and they're my favorites, have like a color scheme that kind of works with it too. So yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, I think that was The Fugitive that I wanted to show you guys. So, and then you see here me just organizing all of these different VHS tapes, taking them all down, and you see that I'm pulling up my shirt. I didn't want you guys to see my underwear. Nothing you could really see, but that's just how it goes, right? It's honestly a workout. That's a lot of tapes. I have so many tapes, and they were just display pieces, you know what I mean? Man, and a lot of these movies I haven't actually seen. They were just there to look cool. And, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, if I have a YouTube channel, I want movies that people know, but they don't mean anything to me. And I think this is one thing that I'm really coming to terms with when decluttering like this. So what I'm gonna do is go through these and put these into certain piles. Piles of keep, like this movie does mean something to me, like it's one of my favorites. I'll keep it for storage, and then I'll make some kind of display for it in the next home. And then the ones I don't have any attachment to, or that, like I know that I'm not gonna watch this again. I'm gonna organize that right now, and yeah, apologies for any sweat you might see, but that's the process, so let's go. So what I mean by that is that I wanted to have a cool display that people would see that in the back of the videos and go like, oh, this Brando guy, you know, has a bunch of cool movies and I know that movie. But if I'm really being honest, like there's only a couple of them that actually meant a lot to me. So I'm putting away the ones that I really care about, and those might not even be the best movies, but I remember watching it on that actual tape. Whereas a movie that might be really, really good, I didn't actually watch it on VHS, it was just cool to have. That one can go into storage. Right away, there's a free spot and you have to go there. And he wants to play with the cord there. Roger, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt yourself. You crazy. Cats always land on their feet, right? And now this is the fun part. This is where you're experimenting with things. You're going, okay, I know what I'm going to put on display, my favorite pieces. And of course, Roger wants to be on display there. And so what you see here is just a bunch of trial and error. Like, okay, if I put this Star Wars box here, what VHS tape should I put on there? Oh, this guy fits here, so it's gotta be on this shelf. This guy doesn't fit here. What Lego pieces do I keep? You know, trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing because it will be in the background of videos. Which Funko Pops do I keep? Can I keep all of them? Can I put some into storage? And that's the fun part too, right? So that's basically what I got so far. And then I'm just moving all of the other Blu-rays around and then moving all of the box sets from that little tiny shelf on the side to this main shelf, and that's what you're seeing right here. So it's nice that all the movies that I want to watch are on one shelf, or at least one section of shelves, right? So I think it looks pretty good. I think the next stage is to declutter this, put some of this in storage, some of the board games, and then maybe put some of those games up there. Yeah, I think that's the next project. So I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but I also have a lot of this to clean up. Oh, this is it's been a project for sure. So just letting you know, guys, that I ended up staying up pretty late to finish this, but the entire process of like cleaning up everything and going into storage and donating things and trading things in, I got quite a bit of money for the stuff I ended up trading in. It took over like a week, you know, every single night. Like all of the filming was done pretty much over the span of 2 days, but man, the closet is where it really hit me, like why I kept on to all this stuff for so long. Well, this is the raw version, right? I mean, you gotta see me all sweaty, all gross. And of course, Roger has a new home. Why do I have so much crap? You know, it is nuts seeing it all on the floor like this. And this is just from the closet, right? And like, there's still stuff there. Wow. This has been more of a cathartic process than I thought, to be honest. So let's see what we can keep, at least in the shelf, what can go. I'm just looking at it now and it's just like, I don't need to keep all this stuff here. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is, I think this hit me more than just like the figurines, because at least I see the figurines, but this stuff's all in the closet. And I don't see it, or I don't use it, you know what I mean? Like, wow. All right, let's get going. So you may be wondering why I had a copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, like the script, in my hand. It's because I was holding it and I went on a bit of a rant about how I used to, you know, see things that were like movie related and then I'd buy them because they were cool to have. And then of course, when you're wanting to become a YouTuber, you want to have as much cool movie stuff as you can to show off to people. But again, you buy it and you don't do anything with it. It would just stay in the closet and you would never use it and it would just collect dust. And that's why I was going, why did I buy this stuff? It was like this way of seeking approval. So for the closet, I just wanted to have things that I really liked that meant the most to me. Now with no figures up there, Roger can actually go up there. I'm trying to get him up there. I just threw him up there and he got down, but I have a treat up here. Hey, Roger, look. It's kind of a stupid cat, to be honest. Come on, up there. Oh yeah, he's looking for it, come on. Uh-huh. You can't use any steps. So I knew that was gonna happen. Up, just go straight up. There you go. While Roger gets accustomed to being up there, I just sat down in my office chair and it's not done, right? And it's a weird feeling. I was realizing, you know, why did I collect so many things in the first place? But growing up was tough, you know, and I think a lot of people who like things that I like kind of go through the same thing. People who like Star Wars and Pokemon cards and movies and just nerdy things in general. We're the easy target, right, in school, and I had extremely low self-esteem because of it. But my coping mechanism, my rooms were always filled with posters of the coolest things that I liked at the time. Star Wars stuff and movies and video games and just, you know, fandom and nerdiness and whatever. It was almost like a sanctuary. It was a defense mechanism to hide away from facing my problems. Getting rid of a lot of that stuff, it's finally like letting my guard down. Like this stuff was to shield me from all that stuff. It kind of feels nice to know, like, you know what? I don't need that shield anymore. Like, I still like this stuff. You know, I still have all the Star Wars figures. I kept the Pokemon ones there because I genuinely like them. And it's not for a shield. And I'm not buying things and putting up VHS tapes because, oh, that's cool. But I've realized that your fandom does not define who you are. So this has been kind of a therapy session for me. I'm happy with this room right now because it's me. And here is the final reveal. So I went through everything, one last final touch up, some sweeping, some cleaning, and this is the new office/movie room. And of course you can see Roger loving his new spot already. So We have the desk. We have the 3 Indiana Jones posters. Of course, we have the PS2 down here hooked up. We have some controllers here and some headphones and just other tech stuff, pencils and pens and microphone, all the filming location. Degree for me, we have the Disney stock and we have this IKEA ball that can change colors. And of course, this was a gift that I got from my grandfather when I was born. Documents, some files, cords, that kind of stuff. So we have the 2 posters right here. I of course can change that out and see, look at that. He's up there by himself now. So he has all this room to wander around and take a look. I also decided to put my guitar here. So now we have everything on display. Some Star Wars Lego, some VHS tapes, The Rocketeer, and more Star Wars figurines. The Blu-rays and the 4Ks all right here. Some VHS tapes in the back, holding up the Brando Critic sign. We have more Blu-rays and 4Ks, box sets all the way down there. And then these are gifts from subscribers. So these are for Patreon watch-alongs or little short videos. Then we have the amp and we have some laser discs. Now I don't have the laser disc player up here anymore, but those just look pretty cool in there. Then we have some Nintendo Switch games, PS5, PS4, PS3, TV shows, and then just some extra, thumbtacks in there in case I want to put anything on the walls, but I don't think I will. DVDs. Storage up here, that's old game consoles, old video games, old Pokemon cards, and we also have, I believe, just some training equipment like resistance bands and all that other stuff. And then these are Blu-rays for giveaways for Patreon. And we have a little Pokemon display, my favorite Pokemon cards, my most valuable Pokemon cards. And yes, this one actually has a suction cup up there, and we just hang them up there. My girlfriend actually wanted to do that, so it actually allows for more space. Picked up some slabs today from a card show. I can put those there, just a tiny collection there. Gift from subscriber, Scout Trooper, and I decided to put this here in the closet, and I actually wanted to put up a different poster here. So instead of just shoving it full of 2 posters and cramming it and then having like that little shelf right here, now this is flush with this. And I decided to put Spider-Man 2 because it still fits like that orange, yellow color scheme somewhat, right? And then if I feel like having a blue color scheme, I can change those out. And so we have here older Nintendo consoles, the Pokemon games, the Wii U and Wii games with Sprigatito down there, the PS2 collection. Those are games that I'm trying to trade in, basically, or any movie that I want to trade in, I'll put down there, and that will go to Willow Video once I'm ready to do that. Harry Potter books, I have Goblet of Fire in my room, and then we have, of course, like tickets and stuff from different concerts and plane trips and more books, some Pokemon card binders. I have some over there that I'm going to be putting away. So I'll just leave that there for now. And some board games and puzzles. And I decided to bring out some Pokemon strategy guides because I do like to look at those from once in a while. And a nice little piece of nostalgia right there. My Kylo Ren lightsaber. And there you go. That is the updated movie room / office. And boy, oh boy, do I love how it turned out. So this is the first time seeing the new room on camera. I have a little tiny viewfinder off to the right. And you know what I like about this, just seeing it on camera? You can see all of the cool stuff. Like the camera would always cut off the things on the top shelf. So now you can see everything, right? So I definitely like that. And this has definitely been a journey of self-discovery more than anything. Not only did I change the room, right? When I come in here, I can breathe finally. And it just feels like a giant weight has been lifted off my shoulders. It has been a very cathartic process because putting all of these things into storage and donating a lot of these things, I'm realizing that I can let that stuff go. It doesn't have to be tied to my personality. And I think that a lot of people in this space people who love movies, who love video games, who love to collect things, I think we attach that so hard to our personality that we can't get rid of anything. It's because it's a part of us. Like I said, I still have Star Wars figures here. I still have Lego. I still have a bunch of Pokemon stuff in the closet for display. It's because I genuinely love that stuff. And everything in this room feels useful. Now, everything here serves a purpose, or I love it. Nothing in this room serves a purpose for, oh, just looking good for the camera. So I want to ask you guys, have you guys had any type of experience like this? Or are you guys still in the collect, let's just bring more things in type of mindset? And if you are, that's wonderful. You know, trust me, I think it was Jimmy Carr that said, it's not having stuff that's awesome, it's wanting stuff, right? And that's the whole joy of collecting. I feel like a new person. Right? It's kind of like getting a haircut. You know what I mean? You feel confident, you're a new person, you're fresh, you're renewed, and that's how I feel with this room. And hopefully the channel will reflect that as well with the videos I'm going to be making and just my attitude on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment down below if you did enjoy the video. Hit subscribe for more content just like this. I got a link Patreon, link is down below. Monthly watch-alongs, giveaways. It's a great community. It's a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Love you all. Take it easy.